Welcome to Biology My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. We are now learning the chapter tissues, and we finished plant tissues, and in animal tissues we completed epithelial tissues. Today we are going to discuss connective tissues. Connective tissues are slightly different from other types of tissues. We know tissues means collection of cells. But here it's not only a group of cells coming together, but they are arranged on a platform or a matrix. So a few cells are arranged on a matrix. Then this matrix nature varies from types of connective tissues. That is, in one it may be rigid, another it may be dense, yet another it is fluid-like, or it is very hard. I will give you a simple example to understand this. Think of these eatables. First you think of kheer. It's a sweet, fluid consistency. In that, consider the milk is the matrix, fluid matrix, where the cells are the raisins or nuts and other things that we are adding. So blood is an example like that. Now think of halwa. There, that rigid consistency, and it is having lots of nuts and other things on that. They are the cells. Next you think about plum cake. It is dense, right? In that, again, the plum and other raisins and dates and whatever things we are adding, those are the cells. Now finally you think about our flour, mosaic flour. It's very hard, and those mosaic chips are the cells on that. Hope you got an idea. The matrix or the background keeps on varying, on which different types of cells are suspended. So when we talk about different types of connective tissues, we have blood, bone, cartilage, tendons, ligaments, areolar and adipose tissues. So totally 7 types of connective tissues we have to study. Let us start from blood. So as I mentioned, blood is a connective tissue where matrix is fluid in nature. So what is making up that fluid? It's made up of something called a plasma. Plasma is 90% water. Along with that, it has several hormones and salts and proteins dissolved in it. In the fluid matrix or plasma, 3 types of blood cells are present. They are RBC or red blood cells, WBC or white blood cells, and platelets. They are otherwise called erythrocytes, leukocytes and thrombocytes. RBC carries oxygen throughout the body. That is, when we are inhaling air containing oxygen, it goes to the lungs. From the lungs, it is taken to all parts of the body by RBC. Whereas WBC is helping us to fight off infections, or it is a part of our immune system. The third, platelets are involved in clotting of blood. Whenever we have a bleeding wound, we know that immediately their clot forms and the bleeding stops. It is because of the action of the platelets or the thrombocytes. Now, if you see the overall function of the blood, that along with plasma can transport, as I mentioned, the gases like carbon dioxide is mainly transported by plasma. Then it can transport the nutrients, it transports vitamins and hormones, and also it transports waste materials to be discarded out of the body. Now let us move on to the next type, that is bone. I have written bone and cartilage together because they are kind of similar type of tissue, in which bone has a very rigid or very hard matrix, whereas cartilage has a dense matrix. Bone has a very rigid matrix due to the presence of the calcium and phosphorus making up that matrix. And we know bones are forming the skeletal system, or it is giving the shape and structure to our body, or because of bones or skeletal system, we have this rigid framework for our body. Imagine you are pulling out all the bones from a person. What will you get? A heap of flesh, no shape, just a piece of flesh. It cannot stand straight or no posture. So giving support to the body and helping us in movement is a function of skeletal system. Cartilage, the cells are widely spaced and they are flexible also. Bone is very hard, but cartilage is flexible. Different regions of the body we have cartilage. For example, the tip of the nose. Up to this bone is there. After that, this part is cartilage. That's why this part is flexible. Or your ear pinna. This is flexible or you can bend because it is made up of cartilage. Your larynx or the voice box and your trachea or the windpipe. And in between your vertebral column, you have cartilage which is giving flexibility. And also, at the edges of bones, there is a covering of cartilage to smoothen the surface. Those who are non-vegetarians, you know, when you are biting the chicken leg, the bone has got a whitish part on the side. That is the cartilage, smoothing the surface. Otherwise, friction will be very high. Why is it flexible? Because here the matrix is made up of proteins and sugars. Now, another important connective tissue is tendon, and along with that we are considering ligaments also. So, whenever we have bones here, bones are connected by muscles. But when I am pulling these muscles, it's not coming out because these muscles are tightly connected to bones with the help of tendons. They are very strong and fibrous and not flexible. They need not be flexible because we are not bending here or any movement is happening here. But whenever two bones are connected, there a connection called ligaments are there. Ligaments are again strong, but they are highly elastic and flexible. If they are not flexible, we will not be able to move our hands or arms or any part, right? So ligaments are strong but flexible and elastic, whereas the tendons are strong but fibrous and non-elastic. Tendons are connecting bones to muscles, ligaments are connecting bone to bone. Then comes areolar tissue. Areolar tissue is like a kind of packaging tissue. You think about the bubble wrap that we are using to cover all the sophisticated gadgets. It's giving a cushion-like protection to the gadget. The same way, some of our body organs need protection, like our soft internal organs, or around our blood vessels, or our nerves, or in the bone marrow. These places we have this loose kind of air-spaced cells called areolar tissue. They are helping in repairing of tissue, at the same time acting as a shock absorber also. They are found between skin and muscles and around the internal organs, which are very soft, needs protection. Whereas the last type is called adipose tissue. Adipose tissues are fat storing tissues. They are having large fat globules stored in them. They are large in size. Usually we find them in between the skin, just below the skin. A thin layer of fat tissue is there present in us. It gets deposited in different parts of the body depending upon the body nature. Apart from this, there is visceral fat also. That means some fat is deposited around the internal organs which acts as a cushion to a certain extent, but we know that a lot of fat is not good for our health. So these are the different types of connective tissues. You should know what is the nature of their matrix. Or in some cases we learn the cells. We have to learn the features or characteristics and also what is their function. Hope you understood connective tissues. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment box. I will definitely reply to your questions. And if you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, Biology My Passion.